Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would do another one of these like individual room kind of walkthroughs, mainly because we're kind of doing a bunch of stuff or like getting things going, and just for the sake of getting it captured before we start doing something to it. There's not going to be like a set like upload cadence to it. It's just going to be like kind of as it goes. Last video was a tour of the bar, or excuse me, it was a tour of the lounge. I've actually already, we bought a rug the day after I filmed it, so already made some headway there, so that was a really good move. And for the hallway, so I feel like this is doing positive things for timelines. But I thought for this video, I could do a walkthrough of the bar, which is definitely the room that's gonna have the most, like of a makeover in terms of what like the before and after. It's gonna have the biggest before and after. And then I'll also just throw in the powder room because all that's gonna do is get wallpapered. And yeah, I don't really feel the need to do like a whole separate video. It's just like, here's a before and after of a wallpaper change. So this, I just closed the plantation shutters so you can kind of get an idea for like color accuracy. And this is with all the lights on. So I had mentioned in that get ready with me video, this room is like quite literally a holding cell for just boxes and RC cars and things that we had as a bar at the old house, stuff like that. So like sincerely, this home's gonna look so different, and our front door is right there. So like, it's one of those things that from a visual impact, you're gonna get it right away. Like it's an immediate thing you're gonna notice. And then the other thing I would show you is the ceiling. So it's got coffered ceilings, and the ceiling is painted the same color. You can see how it kind of, the color like shifts, depending on where in the room you are, and depending on like the light, like the time of day, all kinds of things. So because of that, I don't love the idea of going with any type of color that's similar to this. Look at that cast off the chandelier. Hold on. Is that better? Yeah, it's a little bit better. That's what astigmatism looks like, y'all. Okay, so to give you like an idea of what's gonna change. The ceiling here, like in between the coffers, we want to do tile, like, or like not tile, sorry, like a tin tile. So we've already gotten like a ton of samples, and I think we picked the one we want. So we might very likely, honestly, lose this crown molding, and they do like a tin version, so it'll go, because otherwise you'll start like cutting the tin in like weird spots and it'll look really asymmetrical and inconsistent, which will drive me insane. But you can see how this color is just a weird color. Like it's almost terracotta sometimes, and then you come down here and on camera, I mean, it kind of looks a little brighter, but it's really like this weird rusty rose color, like a tea rose mixed with like a, like, I don't know, like a really cheap terracotta shade or something. I don't know. It's like kind of weird. Anyway, so what we've gone ahead and done, we've taken all of, the chandelier came with the house, and it originally had, you can see, it originally had those like little hats on it, and we wanted to kind of de-grandma the chandelier. So Kelly and I, Kelly's my interior designer, she helped me because she's taller than me. She helped me take them off. We're gonna raise this all the way up because you can see that ceiling rosette. I love that. I think the other thing we're gonna do, we'll take it, you can see the mount, take it up, and then I'm gonna hand paint the detail. If you can kind of see, I'm nowhere near tall enough to get that really, really well, but I'm gonna try to do some sort of like gold leaf or something to make all that detail really stand out so we don't lose it. Or just, you know, just that little extra bit, right? So this whole ceiling is gonna get tin tiled. And then this is the room that I don't have a ton of like crystal clear vision on. I have ideas, but I'm not like hell bent on any of them. And look, with this light, it almost has, well, it's because of the way the light casts off of different things and through the shutters, it almost gives like a streaky effect over there, right? It's a weird paint choice. So I think really what it was they had, this room was initially like, when we bought the house, the folks who lived in here previous to us, they had used it as a formal dining. And so this wall had like a sideboard on it, and then they had like a big table. Obviously we're not doing that. So what we want to do is have a bar made, and we're thinking about having like on this wall, do like that patinaed mirror kind of look, you know what I mean? That like, you don't really see yourself, but it's very clear what the goal is and what it is. And then my friend Nikki suggested, where all the boxes are basically, like have this be one of those really high, have this be one of those really high, like velvet tufted kind of benches, like bench seating, and like have it wrap in, kind of like they do at like those cool, like old rock and roll bars. And then do like in this spot, because of that opening, I really don't know what's gonna wind up happening. We kind of kick around doing a little bench seating, we kick around doing all kinds of stuff. It really depends on what the footprint of this bar top is gonna be. I think that's the biggest issue. And then once this gets raised, we'll have a really clear idea of like the visual impact of anything on the walls, if that makes sense. But okay, ceiling, I have to like mentally go through like everything I haven't said. Ceiling, mirror, bar top. The rest of the walls are gonna get painted like a peacocky. I wanna go like I keep saying peacock, like that kind of blue teal kind of color. So we've ordered some different paint samples. They're coming and we're gonna do a swatch and just like leave it up for a while and see it all, because of how much of a color shift this room does already. I wanna make sure that we see it for like a solid week before we make any decisions about the color, like do a big enough, swatch to where we really get the vibe of all of the options, and so we can make the best, like most educated decision. But yeah, so this isn't nearly as like, it's weird because for the overhaul that'll happen, it's kind of easy to show it because it's really not that big of a room. It's about 13 by 10, 13 feet 10 by 13.4 with 10-foot ceilings. And then so it's much more of like its own space, even though it's really open. Yeah. So it kind of dictates a lot, but it's, I don't know how to describe it. It's just, it packs a punch for being the size that it is. The other thing we were thinking about doing was on this wall with the mirrors, we were thinking about putting like the drinks there, like the bar, all that bottles. And an idea Jeremy had that I think is like great is like carving out spaces for the bottles in whatever we decide to put them in, but then having it lit so that it's like a backlit bottle display, which I think would be really cool. It's just very purposeful, like we really leaned into it, you know? I love that idea. So yeah, I can't tell you time frames. We're kind of thinking May in terms of completion, but I don't think that's really gonna happen because of just in the conversations we've had so far and the things that we've decided on in November that are just now getting here, and how simple those are. I feel like it's gonna be further out, but at least we're like, I don't know, making connections, reaching out to people, starting to get ideas for different things. Yeah, we did pick out a tin tile that we think we like, which is, I'll show you later once we've actually picked it. Just so I don't I don't know. I don't want to show you a bunch of options we didn't go with and then get people confused. Is really what it is. But once we've made some final decisions, I'll show that, or maybe pair it with paint. I think that'll be the final factor. But let's show you the bathroom, because that's like, it's not simple, but it is. It's like one problem to solve or one decision to make versus like 40. Okay, so literally right next to the bar is this powder room. But yeah, so this is, when you first walk in, it just kind of looks like, I don't know, some sort of garden scene. And when you get closer, you see this. This, like, these game birds. And it goes the whole perimeter. I'm gonna close this door, Mom. You wanna come in? Okay. And so you can tell, like, I'll show you some detail work. The sink, like, all the details for in terms of like this stuff, I'm fine with. The sink, I like that. I'm cool with this. This is fine. Everybody loves the basin of this. Like, they all love this kind of crackled bronze vibe. And then the mirror goes like everything goes really well. Like the mirror, the sink, this, like the cabinets, and then these are the sconces in here, which were like a definite selection, you know. It's really hard to get like the color of that. So Jeremy's thoughts are, he likes how everything's like a really this is a great way of looking at it. He likes how everything's like a really cohesive look, right? Everything's got the same kind of tones in it. I just don't want game birds as my wallpaper. Like, we gotta change that. So we're currently kind of wading through different options, and once we decide on that, I will do something. I'll update you. But yeah, so simple but not, you know. If you've ever done anything to your house, you know it's never as easy as it sounds. I'll show you, just to be thorough, I'll show you the samples that came in finally today. They were stuck in New Jersey, I don't know why, for like a week. And so they finally rolled in, and I swatched them all and like showed Jeremy and made sure he would like any of. And they kind of suck for, like, it's hard to do samples of wallpaper because obviously there's more to the design than like an 8x11 will show you. But this is what we got sent to us. So I knew these weren't gonna happen. I just wanted them because I think this would be a cool idea. Maybe in my office, I have an idea. I don't know. That's a weird sample, but it's a cool design. I liked the idea of going like really irreverent. And then I also liked the idea of this to scale because it was like a really cool panel. This was just kind of something to kind of brighten it but still make it really interesting. That's obviously not going to happen. I also loved this one. I thought this looked so good on a whole wall. Jeremy says it kind of gives him like Confederacy vibes, so obviously that had to go. And then this was the only one that he did like because the colors went so well. So it was like easy for you to visualize the harmony, you know? Very cohesive color story. So I like the colors of that fine. I just think we could go like cooler. And honestly, I hate that he said that because I really did like that. But now it's like, I don't know if you're like a Sex and the City watcher, but if you know that scene with Charlotte and Harry brings up the Holocaust. He's like, yeah, she was in the Holocaust. And Charlotte like frowns and she's like, well, I can't respond to that because you brought up the Holocaust. Like, that's kind of you. So I've talked to Kelly, and then my best friend Nikki's like really into interior design. So I've been kind of like running ideas through her too. She also like, her whole house is done, not like totally similar to how I'm doing it. We have a lot in common in terms of our interior design preferences. So she's been doing her house for like 4 years. So she's like way ahead of me. And so I sent her something that I found that I thought was really cool. It was like tigers and peacocks. Because I had said right when we looked at the house, I was like, oh my God, if we did like a midnight garden or like a peacock vibe, because I really want peacocks, I think that would be so awesome. And then I sent her the swatch that I found, and she was like, well, she loves tigers. And she was like, well, I mean, obviously I want that one. And then I found another one that was cool. It was like really different, and it was Ben Franklin chewing gum and like popping bubbles. And I thought, you know, because I like the idea of having just an off-the-wall wallpaper in a powder room, because why not? You know, it's a small room, go for it. So I want to do something a little weird or cool or just really different. I honestly would, I don't really mind going weird. I think that'd be kind of awesome. The other thought I had was, I just think the room, the other thought I had was putting a neon sign in the room, but I think the issue I have with that is how, like, there's not a lot of depth to that room, so like you'd be right on this neon sign, and I think that might freak you out. Like, I think if the room had a different footprint, I'd probably do it, but I just don't think realistically it would go. I think I would do it and be like, you're too close to it to really get the effect. You know what I mean? We also, speaking of that, we do kick around putting in a neon sign in the bar. That's been an option, like, but getting like a cool quote made. There's a good David Bowie quote that we've liked. That'd be a cool option. Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of different things that like could happen, but I wanted to show you. Look at this. Look at these puppies. Look at these puppies. What a mess. But I wanted to show you what it's gonna look like, or what it looks like now before it changes at all, because things are changing. Things are changing. I should leave it at that. Time frames for them sometimes are sooner than expected, sometimes not, but things are changing. And yeah, so thanks for coming along with me on this little tour. This is a very casual video. I get my hair done tomorrow, so I'm not even doing it today. And I have a hoodie on because I self-tanned. So, you know, very casual. But yeah, thanks so much for watching all, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.